Dash Cam.
I want to welcome everybody to Dash Cam with Derrick. Got my boy Braden in the back. Braden, can you say what's up? We're not going to go to a restaurant or a fast food place this time. We're going to go to a gas station. There's something I do sometimes that I combine two things together that I think go really well together. So I'm going to share that with you here in a minute. But you know, we're going through Christ's meals through the Gospels, and I just thought about Luke chapter 19 because I just really enjoy this message. There's so much in it. In Luke 19, it's about Zacchaeus. You know, Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. There's so much in that I want to share with you. You know, you can talk, you know, so often we look at how Zacchaeus was persistent. He was seeing, he wanted to see Christ. And man, we could very easily talk about how our vision needs to be to stay focused on him and to really see Christ for who he is and what he did. And you can also see in the text of Luke 19 where he was willing to run and climb in order to see him. Man, we could ask ourselves, what are the things that we do in our life in order to try to see Christ? You know, he is making some big efforts. You know, this is a little bitty old man trying to climb a big old tree. We just kind of brush that up off. Man, that's, you know, you got to be brave to do that. And, you know, what are things in our life that, you know, we, look, my blinker, there it goes. And so, you know, what are things in our life that we're willing to do that are big in order to see Christ? Because so often we may, you know, we can't see him, or we don't, you know, we don't want to draw close to him if it doesn't come easy. And so sometimes we've got to understand it's a little bit harder to do the will of God, or to be able to walk with him and do what we can to reach out to him. And so much stuff we could see through that story of Luke chapter 19 that I think we can draw to help our life spiritually. But there is one thing in particular that I want to talk about that I feel like I get a bad rep for, but I'm going to go into this gas station. I'm going to grab these two things. I'm going to first see if y'all enjoy this too, and then I'm going to share with you a part of a message that I feel like is something that we need. All right, so this is what you do. You get a grape drink, peanuts, and you put them together. Absolutely amazing. We'll do that here in a minute. So we had just moved into our house on Pig Lane. Hadn't been there long. I'm on the recliner, just kicked back, and I hear my door open. This was in the middle of the day. I hear my door open, and I see this kid walked through my house with his shirt off, and I went, "Hey man, what's up?" And he comes back there and goes, "Hey." I was like, "Well, what's your name?" He goes, "Well, I'm Gray Thornton." I said, "All right." And he walks on through. He said, "Come to see Walker." And I'm sitting there going, now that's the kid I like. This guy just walked right up into my house with his shirt off, no invitation, looking for one of my boys. I do that all the time. I just normally keep my shirt on. I go uninvited over to the Pearson's house all the time, to the Blaylock's house all the time. There's so many places where I just go and just either walk in, or I come unannounced. I just knock, say, "Hey, what's going on?" And this is the part of the story that I absolutely love. You know, there's so much about Zacchaeus that we can pay attention to. But on this, it's where Christ saying, "Listen, I'm coming over to your house." It is what I think one of the big messages in this story is, sometimes we need to reach out. Sometimes we need to invite ourselves over when we may not be really invited. And that's what Christ did. He literally reached out to a man that maybe didn't even know he needed to be reached out to. You know, Zacchaeus' name really means pure. it's ironic, but there are people in our lives that need to be reached out, and they know they need help. There are people who've dealt with loss. There are people who've been dealing with sickness, and they need somebody. But then there are people in our lives that really just doesn't know that they need to see God. They don't know how lost they are without Jesus. And that is where it's our responsibility as God's people to really reach out, to really to invite ourselves over into people's lives. So I want to encourage you, as far as this meal, we see a meal where Christ invited himself over to eat. Kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit and do that. Reach out to people that you're not familiar with. Reach out to people that you've been putting off, knowing that need to hear the gospel, knowing that needs a prayer for. Reach out to them and let that meal be a meal that brings you closer to them and for them to become closer to God. And so I hope you have a blessed day. We're getting closer and closer being back together as a family. And so just continue to keep our elders in your prayers as they make these decisions here in the next couple of weeks. So hope everybody has a blessed day. Thank y'all.
That's